Ah yes, Yo Chicken Bros, what's up? It's your boy Smile here, coming at you with a brand new video. And today I decided to tackle a rather large video, that being on Disney, and why I think they are crumbling right now. In fact, I heard a joke that was, a semi-joke from my business partner, of all people, saying that Disney was crashing and burning to a point where they're about to have to sell themselves out. Now, I don't think they're at that point yet, but I do think there are some major issues they are doing that I want to speak on. This is both kind of another business video along with some general cultural media, and I felt it'd be really fun to talk in and delve on this topic. But first, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to leave a like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, make it ring a ding ding. And with all that being said, let's get into today's video. So I want to start off very simple here and mention that they have failed to capture their target market. Fundamentally failed to capture it. And that is one of their first major weaknesses. Now you may be like, Smile, what do you mean by that? And well, I'll make it very simple, cut and dry for you if you don't understand. A target market is who you're supposed to be selling to. I.e., for Disney, they're selling to little kids by giving them enjoyable content that families can watch and is really easy with no real messaging in it that would be, something you have to explain to your kid on the way home. Now, to put it into perspective, I call this the biblical movie rule. It's not exactly a rule, it's more a tendency, but I think you'll get my point here. When you see a religious movie or a religious show, 9 times out of 10, they tend to put the message up front and center. And you can't really enjoy the movie because the characters aren't as fleshed out due to this message being a big heaping pile of meat in the center of this whole movie. You're putting the message over the story, and that's the problem. I'm not even going to say if your message is good or bad. I'm just saying fundamentally, if you're a storyteller, that's the problem right there. Disney is putting their message and corporate interests above all else, and that's why they're failing. Another thing, you're using nostalgia bait wrong. Like, I don't know how this is so hard to understand. But they just came out with a new Snow White and the Seven Dwarves thing. And apparently, oh no, that's offensive to say dwarves. And you can't hire dwarves who sure people could have used the money for to act. Like, you're not allowing them jobs when Hollywood is as cutthroat as it is. The little guy may have needed some money, and you just did not give them the chance because that's offensive. Anyway. The point I'm making here, it's really simple. You are not doing it in the nostalgic way because you're not showing the original characters. You're making a mermaid, the Little Mermaid, mind you, a different race, which nobody liked, not because they're racist, because they wanted to see the original. They wanted the original remade so they could see it with their kids in a movie theater. That's what they wanted. And you had to go and do all this. You're not sticking with your target market, and it is... Number 2, you're not making your content for your intended audience, but I don't think you understand who your intended audience is either. I think that because you have been so big for so long, you think you are entitled to everyone's money. Now, that's gonna get some people mad. I know. I'm ready to see those comments, and I will gladly respond to any of them. So, what I'm putting here is very simple. You are not entitled to people's money, Disney. I get that you think you can make whatever and it work. And I know, this is going to sound very prejudiced. This is going to sound very rude. This is going to sound very mean. I don't care. You see, what I understand the corporation of Disney to be like is about like that. They take beloved franchises, crap all over them, and then serve them to that fan base. They've done that since the original Little Mermaid. The original Little Mermaid. I would love to make a premium video explaining the history of Disney shitting on people's stuff. Because that would be an amazing thing for me. I would love to vent out that frustration I have with them. And that's why maybe my opinions here are a lot harsher than many others. I get that. I've never really cared for Disney. I never really liked Disney. There's plenty of people who have, and that's fine. But what I'm saying here is, Disney does not understand their core audience because they're out of sync with reality, with the common man right now. They are out of sync, and their movies are cringe to most people. They are awful. And I want to make a media review channel where I can actually review this stuff and give you guys my reasons why I believe this stuff, and actually make enjoyable content again. This content, I'm sure, is enjoyable. I'm just saying, Disney needs to figure out who their core audience is and stick with it. If it's no longer children, they need to let people know that. Twitter exists for a reason. And if you post that on Twitter, everybody and their mother is going to watch a YouTube video of Disney saying that. Because you know I'd report on that. But if you still want to go be a children's company, you will have to do what your target market would want you to do. Now, this last one is the reason I believe Disney will crumble, inevitably. This last one, despite everything else I have said, this last thing, this last criticism, is why they will crumble. They refuse to learn. They refuse to learn from their mistakes. From Little Mermaid to Snow White and the 7 other people, I don't know what they're even calling it, because they're not short people who could have had the money and could have been paid well to do this job. They refuse to learn. They think what they're doing works when it clearly doesn't. I have watched as flop after flop after flop happens, and the one movie they had that would have done well, The Sound of Freedom, the best-selling movie for a good while, was refused. It was refused! So they just lost a blockbusting movie that was made with less money than any of their movies so far. And they refused it. Does that tell you something about today's culture? I hope it does. I hope it does, because it should. They refuse to learn. And so that means it is time for people like you and me to start taking our jabs at it. The field is open, my friends. Everyone is failing. Every corporation is failing to make stuff. Culturally, I mean. And it is time for common men like me and you to go out there and start making things. We saw what happened with The Sound of Freedom. I'm starting up writing with some other people and making a company to start making our own stuff. It is time for all of us to start making our content and start getting it out there. It is our time now because the fields are wide open. Everybody's making mistakes. And until they repair their walls, they are fundamentally destroying themselves. So I tell you, my friends, now is our time. As long as they keep on making these mistakes, we've got this. And like I said, if you want to support our culture, I have a free 2 chapters from a book from one of my great friends who is going to be sharing these with you, a great gift, if you put your email in a link below. Now I know, you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't want to put my email in there. I don't know what's going to happen. I get your point. I did it myself to make sure you knew all the things. If I need to, I'll make a short video showing you it to prove to you it is fine. I've done it. You put your email in, you get emailed the first 2 chapters for free. Then he'll update you when each part of the book is done or different things. So you get some previous insider knowledge that you wouldn't get anywhere else. It's a fantasy book called Noel's Honor, and the link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Make sure to grab your free 2 chapters, and if you enjoy it, be sure to buy the book when it comes out. I also need to mention I will be doing videos every weekday again, and there will be a channel updates video at some point this week. I have just been very, very much aggravated at the moment because I made a channel updates video, and that video was corrupted and would not update, so that's amazing. That's beautiful. Yeah, anyway, so as soon as I get a channel updates video, I got a ton of things that I need to mention, and other than that, guys, I think that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yo Man Smile is over and out. Peace.